This video is about she was just a teacher until a rich CEO gave him a future. If the story inspires you, please like the video, share it with loved ones, and write in the comments how it touched your heart. Part 1. She was just a teacher until a rich CEO gave him a future. In the heart of a bustling city, where steel and glass carved the skyline, lived a woman named Clara. She woke each morning to the soft hum of the world awakening. As a dedicated middle school teacher, she found joy in her classroom, where dreams mingled with chalk dust and laughter echoed like a promise of brighter days. Clara loved her students fiercely, those young souls who carried stories of triumph and struggle. Each day was a new adventure, a new opportunity to inspire hope. Yet beneath her smile, there was a weight that pressed heavily on her heart. The school's funding had dwindled, supplies were scarce, and programs were being cut. She often dipped into her savings to provide her students with the resources they desperately needed. "Mrs. Tanner, can we have art supplies for our project?" the bright-eyed boy named Jacob asked one day. His enthusiasm was infectious. Clara's heart ached at the thought of denying him. "Let me see what I can do, Jacob. I'll talk to the principal." As she left the classroom, her mind spiraled with the harsh realities of budget cuts and bureaucratic red tape. Teachers were often the unsung heroes, yet their efforts went unnoticed in the shadows of crumbling systems. Still, Clara was determined to change that narrative, even if it felt like pushing against a relentless tide. The following week, Clara organized a small fundraiser bake sale, where she baked cookies and pies and enlisted her students to help. They set up a colorful stall outside the school, their laughter ringing like bells. However, despite their efforts, the turnout was disappointing. Parents were too stretched thin, and the community's enthusiasm waned amid their own financial struggles. That evening, as Clara packed up the remnants of their bake sale, she felt a pang of defeat. She believed in her students and their potential, yet the walls of reality seemed impenetrable. "Mrs. Tanner, it's okay," Jacob said, his tiny hand clutching a half-eaten cookie. "We did our best." Clara knelt to meet his gaze. "You're right, Jacob, and I am so proud of you all." The glimmer of resilience in her students' eyes reminded her why she fought so hard. Those moments of connection were what fueled her spirit. That deep down, she couldn't shake the fear that she was failing them. Meanwhile, across town, a powerful CEO named Marcus Chen sat in his towering office, surrounded by the symbols of success: sleek furniture, bustling assistants, and high-stakes deals. Yet something felt amiss. The achievements that once filled him with pride now felt hollow. He longed for purpose beyond numbers and profits. Late one evening, while reviewing community outreach proposals from his company, Marcus stumbled upon a letter from a local school. It detailed the struggles teachers faced, especially Clara's school. He found himself drawn to the heartfelt words, which portrayed a vibrant community fighting to provide hope for its children. "Is this really happening in our city?" he muttered to himself, a mix of disbelief and concern flooding his mind. His company was thriving, yet the disparity around him grew more apparent. The next day, Marcus decided to visit the school. Accompanied by a small team, he arrived unannounced. Clara was in the middle of a lesson on the wonders of science when the principal nervously introduced their guest. "Everyone, this is Mr. Chen. He is a very important person." Clara's heart raced. She knew his name, of course. He was a titan in the business world, someone whose influence stretched far and wide. "Hello, students." Marcus beamed, his presence commanding yet warm. "I wanted to see the amazing things happening here." Clara felt a mix of apprehension and excitement. She wanted to show him the soul of her classroom, the creativity, the resilience, the spark. As she led him through her lesson, she watched as the students engaged, their faces lighting up with curiosity. "Mr. Chen, can you help us discover why the sky is blue?" asked another student, Lizzie, her voice bright with hope. Marcus knelt beside her. "It is all about the way light travels. Would you like to know more?" The conversation flowed effortlessly, and Clara couldn't help but admire Marcus's genuine interest. He was not just a businessman, he was a man who cared. At that moment, she felt a glimmer of hope that perhaps he could help her students. Days passed, and Marcus visited the school frequently. He witnessed Clara's dedication first and her late nights, the way she crafted lessons that sparked creativity, and her unwavering belief in her students. Inspired, he offered to launch a fundraising initiative to support the school. Clara was taken aback. "Mr. Chen, that is incredibly generous, but I don't want to impose." "Nonsense," he replied, his eyes shining with determination. "Let us rally the community. You're doing something extraordinary here. It deserves to be recognized." Together, they planned an event, an inspiring gala aimed at raising awareness and funds for the school. Clara poured her heart into organizing the event, her resilience shining as she reached out to local businesses and families. "Let us do this together, Clara," Marcus encouraged her during late-night planning sessions. "Your passion is contagious." Despite the challenges, Clara felt a renewed sense of purpose. She had always believed in the power of education, but now, with Marcus at her side, she saw a path forward. As the gala approached, Clara faced a major obstacle: self-doubt. "What if we don't raise enough money? What if no one shows up?" she confided in Marcus one evening, her voice trembling. "Every great change starts with a single step, Clara," Marcus reminded her gently. "You've already inspired your students. Now, let us inspire the community." With each passing day, Clara's spirit lifted. The night of the gala arrived, and the school's gymnasium glowed with twinkling lights and vibrant banners. Clara stood at the entrance, her heart racing as guests arrived. Among them were families, local leaders, and even some of her students. Clara spotted Jacob, who had made a colorful poster that read, "Believe in us." As the night unfolded, Clara shared her vision, weaving stories of her students' dreams and struggles. "Education is not just about textbooks, it is about nurturing the human spirit," she said, her voice steady. The room was silent, and when she finished, the applause thundered, filling her with an indescribable warmth. Marcus took the stage next, sharing his own journey and the importance of investing in the future. "Clara is a beacon of hope for these children," he said. "Let us stand together to ensure they have every opportunity to succeed." People began to open their hearts and wallets. The funds streamed in, a testament to the power of community and shared vision. Clara's heart swelled with gratitude as she realized they were changing lives together. By the end of the night, they had raised enough money to provide art supplies, technology, and even a scholarship fund for students. Tears of joy brimmed in Clara's eyes as she embraced Marcus. "Thank you for believing in us," she whispered, feeling the weight of the world lift from her shoulders. In that moment, Clara knew they had forged a partnership that transcended wealth and status. They had sparked hope, igniting dreams that would blossom against all odds. As the city lights twinkled outside, Clara felt a renewed purpose. She was just a teacher, yes, but she realized that sometimes it only takes one person to believe in your vision to change everything. The journey had only just begun, but with resilience, kindness, and an unwavering belief in the human spirit, Clara knew that together they could create a future where every child had the chance to soar. And in that realization, hope breathed new life into her heart. Part 2, A New Beginning. The days following the gala felt electric for Clara. The funds raised had not only provided her classroom with the resources it desperately needed, but they had also birthed a new vision for the school, a vision of possibility and growth. With Marcus by her side, they began implementing initiatives that would transform the learning environment. "Clara, I've been thinking," Marcus said one afternoon as they sat in her classroom surrounded by colorful posters and artwork. "What if we created a mentorship program? We can connect students with professionals in various fields." "That sounds amazing," Clara replied, her eyes lighting up with excitement. Imagine the impact it would have on the kids to see what is possible for their future. Yes, that they could learn about different careers, ask questions, and even shadow mentors. It is all about exposure, Marcus said, his passion infectious. As they brainstormed, Clara felt a surge of hope. She began to visualize her students, bright-eyed and curious, engaging with people who had once been strangers to them. They could see that their dreams were not just figments of imagination, but tangible goals. However, amidst the newfound hope, challenges loomed. Clara knew that implementing such a program required not just funding, but also the commitment of the community. "Marcus, what if people don't want to participate? That's a big ask," she said, her voice tinged with worry. "Then we show them the impact it can have," Marcus replied confidently. "Let us organize an information session. We can explain the program, share stories from the gala, and show them the difference they can make." Clara nodded, feeling the fire of determination rekindle within her. Together, they set a date, pouring their energy into preparing for the event. They crafted presentations, reached out to potential mentors, and spread the word throughout the community. Clara's students were equally excited. They created colorful flyers to promote the session, their enthusiasm echoing in every hallway. On the day of the event, Clara stood in front of a packed room, her heart racing. She glanced at Marcus, who nodded reassuringly. "You've got this," he whispered. The energy in the room was palpable, a mixture of anticipation and curiosity. "Thank you all for coming," Clara began, her voice steady despite the butterflies in her stomach. I stand before you not just as a teacher but as a believer in our children, our future. She shared stories of her students, their dreams woven into the fabric of her words. Clara spoke of Jacob, who dreamed of becoming an artist, of Lizzie, who aspired to be a scientist, and of others who faced obstacles that felt insurmountable. These children are our greatest treasure, and it is our responsibility to help them see the world is full of possibilities. As Clara finished, the room erupted in applause, the sound echoing against the walls of the community center. She felt tears prick her eyes. The support was overwhelming. Marcus took the stage next, reinforcing Clara's message and detailing the mentorship program. I believe each child deserves a chance to explore their passions and dreams, he said. Imagine what we can achieve together. Let us bridge the gap between aspiration and reality. Questions poured in, and Clara felt the community engage in a way she had only hoped for. People began to sign up as mentors, their excitement palpable. That night, Clara returned home filled with renewed vigor. She could already envision the first meeting, a gathering of curious minds eager to learn. Yet as the weeks went by, reality settled in. Not everyone was on board with the program. Some community members were hesitant, questioning the need for a mentorship initiative when their own lives were riddled with challenges. Clara felt her heart sink during a particularly contentious meeting. Mrs. Tanner, it is great that you want to help, but we were struggling to make ends meet. Why should we invest time in this? An older woman questioned, her voice filled with skepticism. Clara took a deep breath and approached the microphone, her heart racing. I understand that struggle, she replied, her voice steady but warm. I see it every day in my students, but imagine what we can achieve by uplifting each other. We can't wait for the world to change. We have to be the change. Days turned into weeks, and Clara's resilience was tested. Some people remained unconvinced, while others actively supported their efforts. With Marcus's guidance, they kept pushing forward, focusing on the students and their potential. One afternoon, Clara overheard Jacob talking to Lizzie as they worked on art projects. I want to show my mentor my best work, he said excitedly. That simple statement reminded Clara of why she had fought so hard. It is for them, she whispered to herself, feeling the weight of the moment. The determination in her heart rekindled a fire she had nearly extinguished. As the inaugural mentorship meeting approached, Clara found herself pacing in her living room. What if no one shows up? What if it is a disaster? She fretted aloud. Clara, Marcus said softly, placing a hand on her shoulder. You've already done so much. Remember, it is about making connections, not perfect outcomes. Focus on the students. That evening, Clara arrived early at the community center, her heart racing. Slowly, families began to trickle in, mentors of all backgrounds arriving with a mix of excitement and nerves. Clara welcomed each person, her smile unwavering despite her inner turmoil. As the meeting commenced, Clara introduced the program and shared her vision. She watched in awe as her students filled the room with energy, their faces alight with possibility. Jacob and Lizzie easily mingled with mentors, asking questions and sparking conversations that filled the air. Your dreams are valid, Clara encouraged them, her eyes shining as she watched the magic unfold. And we are all here to support you. With each passing moment, Clara felt the spirit of resilience rise within the community. Stories were shared, laughter echoed, and connections blossomed. As the night wore on, Clara caught a glimpse of Lizzie discussing her dream of becoming a scientist with a mentor who was a researcher. Her eyes sparkled with excitement, a reflection of hope. Over the following months, the mentorship program flourished. Students began exploring fields they had never considered, gaining confidence and support as they shared their dreams with mentors who genuinely cared. Clara observed the transformation within her students. Jacob painted murals that adorned the school, while Lizzie organized science fairs that captivated the community. One sunny afternoon, Clara received a call that would change everything. Clara, you want to believe this, Marcus said, his voice brimming with enthusiasm. A local foundation wants to partner with us to expand a mentorship program. They're impressed with what we've accomplished. Clara's heart soared at the news. This could change everything for our students, she exclaimed, unable to contain her joy. Yes, imagine more resources, more mentors, and even scholarships for students who want to pursue higher education, Marcus replied, his excitement infectious. As the partnership solidified, Clara felt a renewed sense of purpose. They were building a legacy together, one that would ripple through generations of students. Clara watched as her classroom transformed into a haven of dreams and aspirations, where every child felt valued. Yet challenges remained. Some students struggled to balance academics with personal hardships. Clara made it her mission to ensure each child felt supported. She stayed late after school, offering tutoring sessions and one-on-one conversations. Mrs. Tanner, I am worried I won't pass my math test, a shy girl named Mike confessed one afternoon, her voice trembling. Let us tackle it together, Clara assured her, her heart swelling with compassion. You were not alone in this. With each challenge Clara faced, she found strength in her student. This stories ignited a fire within her, a reminder of the resilience that existed within even the most fragile hearts. She watched as they grew, not only in academics but in confidence and kindness. On a particularly emotional day, Clara gathered her students in the classroom. Today, I want to celebrate your progress, she announced, her voice filled with pride. Each of you has shown incredible growth, and I am so proud of what you've achieved. As she spoke, Clara's eyes glistened with tears. Her students responded with cheers and laughter, the joy palpable in the air. They had become a family, united by their struggles and triumphs. Clara marveled at how far they had come together. Amidst the chaos of paper and projects, she felt a surge of gratitude as she remembered the journey that had led her to this moment. She had started as just a teacher, but with every challenge, she had grown into a leader, an advocate for her students. As the school year drew to a close, Clara sat down with Marcus to reflect on their journey. We've rebuilt something beautiful here, she said, her voice filled with emotion. But it is just the beginning. Absolutely, Marcus replied, a smile spreading across his face. We've planted seeds of hope, and I can't wait to see them bloom. With the support of the community, Clara envisioned a future where every child could find their passion, their purpose. She had witnessed the power of resilience, the beauty of kindness, and the strength of the human spirit. As she looked out at her students, their laughter echoing through the halls, Clara knew that together they were creating a legacy of hope, a future where dreams could soar beyond the stars. Hush, 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 Part 3, Together We Rise. The sun cast a golden hue over the schoolyard as Clara prepared to welcome her students back for the new school year. She took a deep breath, a mix of excitement and nervousness swirling within her. After a summer filled with planning and dreaming, the mentorship program had gained traction, but the challenges of the past still lingered. Clara clutched a stack of freshly printed schedules in her hand, each one representing a new beginning, a chance for her students to discover their futures. Mrs. Tanner. Lizzie's voice rang out, filled with the exuberance only summer adventures could inspire. I can't wait to show you what I learned at the science camp. Me too, I want to share my new mural. Jacob chimed in, his eyes sparkling with enthusiasm. Let us hear all about it, Clara said, her heart swelling with pride. She loved how their experiences outside the classroom were beginning to shape their identities. But first, let us settle in and talk about what we were going to explore this year. As the bell rang, signaling the beginning of the day, Clara felt a surge of hope. The classroom buzzed with energy, her students diving into discussions about their summer adventures. But amid the joy, her thoughts drifted to the challenges they would still face. Clara knew that not every student would have access to the same resources or support systems. Okay, everyone. Clara clapped her hands to get their attention. This year, we were going to focus on our dreams. We'll have guest speakers coming in to share their stories, and our mentors will be here to guide us. Who is coming? Jacob asked, bouncing in his seat. I have a surprise, Clara replied coyly. But first, I want each of you to think about what you want to achieve this year. It can be big or small, academic or personal. We'll write them on the board together. As her students eagerly shared their aspirations, Clara couldn't help but notice the mixture of determination and trepidation on their faces. For some, the dreams were lofty, becoming astronauts, doctors, or artists, but for others, the dreams felt more like distant stars twinkling just out of reach. Mrs. Tanner, what if I can't do it? Myra asked softly, her voice barely above a whisper. Clara walked over to her desk, crouching down to meet her gaze. Maya, it is okay to feel that way. The important thing is to take small steps. You don't have to have all the answers right now. We're in this together. Maya nodded, though uncertainty lingered in her eyes. Clara recognized that not every student would have the confidence she hoped to instill, but she was ready to tackle whatever came their way, one step at a time. As the weeks rolled on, Clara continued to cultivate an environment of encouragement and support. Each mentorship session brought new faces to the classroom, professionals who shared their stories, failures, and triumphs. The students listened wide-eyed, absorbing the wisdom that each mentor offered. One afternoon, a local architect named Marcus arrived to speak. Clara watched as he effortlessly connected with her students, discussing the importance of creativity and problem-solving. Lizzie raised her hand, her excitement palpable. "What is the hardest project you've ever worked on?" she asked. Marcus paused for a moment, reflecting. "There was a time when I had to design a community center in a neighborhood facing many challenges. It was tough, but we listened to community's needs and created a space they could be proud of." The students leaned in, captivated by his story. Clara could see the spark of inspiration igniting within them. It was moments like this, she thought, that could shift a child's perspective and open doors they didn't know existed. But not every moment was filled with inspiration. As the year progressed, Clara also witnessed the struggles her students face outside the classroom. Maya's grades began to slip, and Clara noticed her withdrawing from her peers. It broke her heart to see the light dim in her eyes. "Maya," Clara said softly one day after school, "can we talk?" Maya looked down, twisting her fingers nervously. "I don't know if I can keep up, Mrs. Tanner. My family is going through a tough time, and it feels like everything is falling apart." Clara felt a pang of empathy. "I can imagine how hard that must be for you, but you're not alone in this. We can work together to make sure you get the help you need." Maya's eyes brimmed with tears, and Clara handed her a tissue. "It is okay to ask for help," she said gently. "Let us set some goals together. You don't have to face this by yourself." That evening, Clara stayed late, helping Maya set realistic goals for her studies while also connecting her with resources available in the community. Clara admired Maya's resilience despite her circumstances and continued to encourage her, fostering a sense of hope that brighter days were ahead. As fall turned to winter, Clara faced the reality of budget cuts once again. The school was struggling to maintain the resources they had built up. Teachers were receiving notices about reduced funding for extracurricular programs, and Clara felt a familiar weight settle on her shoulders. "How can we keep this mentorship program alive?" she asked Marcus one evening, her voice filled with frustration. "It is just getting started." Marcus leaned back in his chair, deep in thought. "We need to get creative," he replied. "Let us reach out to local businesses, see if they can sponsor some of our initiatives. We have to show them the impact these programs have on our students." Though Clara felt exhausted, she knew he was right. Together, they crafted a proposal highlighting the mentorship program's successes, emphasizing how the community could foster its future leaders. As they reached out to businesses, responses trickled in slowly. Some were supportive, while others expressed reservations. Clara felt her hope waver with each unanswered email, each rejection. "We can give up," Marcus reassured her one night over coffee. "These kids are counting on us." "I know," Clara replied, her voice thick with emotion. "But what if it is not enough? What if they lose this opportunity?" Marcus placed a comforting hand over hers. "Look at what you've already achieved, Clara. You've inspired a whole generation. Even if we face setbacks, your work has already made a difference." His words reignited the fire within her. They were fighting for a cause larger than themselves, a cause worth every ounce of energy they could master. It was then that Clara decided to organize a community rally, inviting families and local leaders to showcase the success stories of the mentorship program. As the day of the rally approached, Clara poured her heart into every detail. She created posters, organized performances by the students, and even invited former mentees to share their journeys. The gymnasium buzzed with excitement on the day of the rally, filled with parents, community members, and local leaders. "Welcome, everyone," Clara said, standing before the crowd, her heart racing. "Today, we celebrate our students, their dreams, resilience, and the power of community." The applause echoed through the room, and Clara felt the warmth of support wrap around her like a comforting embrace. As the students took the stage, Clara watched their faces light up with pride. Jacob shared his artistic journey, and Lizzie spoke about her passion for science. The stories resonated deeply, leaving the audience in awe. When Clara stepped back on stage, she saw familiar faces. Parents who had once been skeptical were now beaming with pride. "Together, we have built something extraordinary, a community that believes in our students and their potential." As she finished her speech, Clara felt a renewed determination surge. The rally had been a success, and the support from the community was overwhelming. Afterward, local businesses began reaching out, offering to sponsor the mentorship program and expand its reach. Days turned into weeks, and Clara felt a wave of relief wash over her. The mentorship program was not only alive, it was thriving. As winter settled over the city, Clara witnessed changes in her student spirits. Maya was gaining confidence, her grades improving, and her smile returning. Jacob's murals adorned the school walls, and Lizzie excelled in her science fair projects. "Mrs. Tanner, can you come see my mural?" Jacob asked one afternoon, his excitement contagious. "Of course, I can wait," Clara replied, following him outside. As they stepped into the brisk air, Clara's heart swelled at the sight of Jacob's work, a mural depicting a vibrant community filled with color and life. "It's beautiful, you've captured so much," she exclaimed. Jacob beamed with pride. "I wanted to show everyone that beauty can come from struggles. We just have to believe we can rise above." Tears brimmed in Clara's eyes as she realized the power of their journey. Her students had not only found their voices, but had also become advocates for resilience and hope. As the final months of the school year approached, Clara reflected on the transformation that had taken place not just in her classroom, but within herself as well. She had started as just a teacher, yet now she stood as a beacon of hope for her students and the community. On the last day of school, Clara gathered her students in a circle. "This year has been incredible, hasn't it? Each of you has grown in ways I can't even describe. Remember, this is just the beginning." Jacob raised his hand. Part 4, a legacy of hope. The summer sun poured through the windows of Clara's classroom, illuminating the walls adorned with colorful artwork and motivational quotes. On this particular day, Clara sat at her desk, the familiar hum of excitement buzzing around her as she prepared for the last day of school. Her students were buzzing with anticipation. Summer was just beyond the horizon. "Mrs. Tanner, can we have an end-of-year party?" Jacob's voice rang out, filled with enthusiasm. "I want to celebrate all the cool stuff we did this year." "Absolutely," Clara replied, her heart swelling with warmth at the thought. "You all worked so hard. Let us make it a celebration of everything we've achieved together." The classroom erupted in cheers, and Clara felt a wave of gratitude wash over her. Just a year ago, she had been fighting to keep the doors open for her mentorship program, and now, here they were thriving, growing, and bubbling over with hope. "But what about our mentors?" Lizzie chimed in, her voice laced with concern. "They deserve to be part of the celebration too." Clara smiled, her mind racing with ideas. "Why don't we invite them? Let us show them how much the support has meant to us." As the students brainstormed ideas for the party, Clara reflected on how far they had come. In just a year, her classroom had transformed into a place of inspiration, resilience, and community. Each student had bloomed in their unique way, and Clara felt honored to be part of their journey. Still, as Clara watched the joy around her, a shadow of doubt whispered in her mind. What will happen next year? She wondered. Can we sustain this momentum? The pressure of the unknown weighed on her heart, a familiar and unwelcome companion. "Mrs. Tanner, can we have a talent show?" Jacob suggested, snapping her back to the present. "The talent show? That is a brilliant idea," Clara responded. "Why don't we showcase not just your talents, but the talents of our mentors too? Everyone can have a chance to shine." The students erupted in laughter, their ideas sparking even more creativity. Clara couldn't help but admire their energy. "Let us do it. We'll plan a talent show and invite everyone, families, mentors, and the whole community." Over the next few weeks, Clara and her students poured their hearts into planning the event. They created colorful flyers, practiced their acts, and reached out to their mentors. Clara felt a renewed sense of purpose as she watched her students take ownership of the event. Their excitement was contagious, and the weight of doubt began to lift from her shoulders. Yet as the talent show approached, Clara noticed that Maya had grown quieter again. The spark in her eyes dimmed, and Clara couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. After class one day, Clara gently approached Maya. "Maya, can we talk for a moment?" she asked, her voice soft and inviting. Maya hesitated before nodding, her eyes downcast. "I am just worried," she admitted, her voice barely above a whisper. "About the talent show?" Clara asked, kneeling beside her, ready to listen. Maya sighed, her shoulders slumping. "What if I mess up? What if no one likes my dance?" "Maya, it is okay to feel nervous," Clara reassured her. "Remember, everyone is here to support you. It is not about being perfect. It is about sharing who you are. Your bravery to perform is what will inspire others." Maya's eyes met Clara's, a flicker of hope igniting within them. "You really think so?" "I know so," Clara said firmly. "You've worked hard, and I am so proud of you. Just be yourself, and let your passion shine through. You'll be amazing." With a hesitant smile, Maya nodded, and Clara felt a surge of relief. Sometimes, all it took was a moment of encouragement to reignite a flame. The evening of the talent show arrived, and Clara stood at the entrance, her heart racing with anticipation. The gymnasium was filled with parents, mentors, and excited students. Colorful decorations adorned the walls, and Clara could feel the energy crackling in the air. As the show began, Clara watched her students take the stage one by one. Jacob performed a mesmerizing painting demonstration, showing how art could convey emotions. Lizzie showcased a science experiment that astonished everyone, illustrating the wonders of chemical reactions. Clara's heart swelled with pride, knowing these were the same children who once felt overshadowed by their circumstances. Then it was Myra's turn. Clara felt her heart skip a beat as she watched her take the stage, her hands trembling slightly. Clara could see the fear in her eyes, but also the determination. As the music began, Maya danced with a grace that took everyone's breath away. Clara felt tears prick her eyes as she witnessed Maya transform every movement, a testament to her resilience, a celebration of her spirit. The audience erupted into applause, and Clara joined them, cheering for Maya, who beamed with joy. After the show, Clara gathered her students backstage, where the atmosphere buzzed with excitement and pride. "You all did incredible," she exclaimed, hugging each of them tightly. "You should be so proud of yourselves." A sense of camaraderie enveloped them, and Clara felt the bonds they had forged grow stronger. "We did it together," Maya said, her face alight with happiness. As families and mentors mingled in the gymnasium, Clara felt a wave of gratitude wash over her. Conversations flowed, laughter erupted, and connections strengthened. This was the community Clara had fought to cultivate, one where every child felt valued and supported. Just as Clara began to catch her breath, Marcus approached her with a grin. "You did it, Clara. The talent show was a huge success. The energy in this room is incredible." "Thank you, Marcus," Clara said, a smile spreading across her face. "But it's all thanks to the students. They poured their hearts into this. UV created an environment where they can thrive," Marcus replied, his eyes filled with admiration. "This is what we envisioned. It is a legacy of hope." Clara felt the warmth of those words wrap around her. "This is just the beginning, isn't it?" "Absolutely. Let us keep this momentum going," Marcus said, his determination palpable. "We can explore even more opportunities, expand the mentorship program, and create pathways for our students that they never thought possible." As the night wore on, Clara caught glimpses of her students chatting with their mentors, sharing dreams, and forming connections that would last a lifetime. She watched Jacob animatedly discuss his artwork, Lizzie enthusiastically explain her latest science project, and Maya, radiant with newfound confidence, connect with a mentor who had once faced similar struggles. Clara realized that this was more than just a talent show. It was a celebration of resilience, creativity, and the beauty of the human spirit. They had transformed their challenges into stepping stones, and Clara felt a deep sense of purpose wash over her. Days turned into weeks, and summer arrived in a fiery blaze. Clara and Marcus began planning for the next school year, strategizing ways to build on the momentum of the talent show. In the midst of their discussions, Clara felt a familiar flutter of uncertainty. "Marcus, what if this was just a one-time event?" she asked, her brow furrowing with concern. "What if we can sustain this?" "Clara, remember the impact we made together," Marcus reassured her. "We've built something real here, a community that believes in its children. Just because summer is here doesn't mean the connections will fade." Clara nodded, taking a deep breath. She had faced uncertainties before, but this time she felt a renewed sense of strength. Together they would find a way forward. That summer, Clara organized workshops for students and their mentors, fostering a space where they could continue to learn and grow. The community rallied around her, volunteering to lead sessions on various topics from art designs to leadership. As summer faded into fall, Clara couldn't help but marvel at the transformation within her students. Maya had returned to school with renewed confidence, and her grades continued to soar. Jacob's artwork was featured at local galleries, and Lizzie expressed an interest in applying for science fairs beyond their school. "Mrs. Tanner, I can't wait to start my own science club," Lizzie said one day, her eyes bright with excitement. "I want to share my passion with others and inspire them just like you did for me." Clara felt tears of joy welling in her eyes. "You have the power to inspire, Lizzie. I believe in you." As the school year progressed, Clara witnessed her students blossoming into leaders. The mentorship program flourished, and the community continued to invest in their futures. Clara faced her own challenges, but each one became an opportunity for growth. One afternoon, during a meeting with the school board, Clara felt her heart race as she presented data on the mentorship program as success. "We've seen an increase in student engagement and academic performance," she explained passionately. "This program is not just about mentorship, it's about building a community that believes in our kids." A board member raised an eyebrow skeptically. "While your results are impressive, how do we justify the funding amidst budget cuts?" Clara took a deep breath, gathering her thoughts. "This isn't just about numbers. It is about lives. Think of the stories, the kids who once